Alright, today I got a few things here. Hope I can get them in order in a timely manner and fashion. I got one autograph request in the mail, and I've got one package hopefully on the way. Broke down and bought one of those after school special photographs, but there's a reason why I bought it. And let's just get into the autograph first here before people get kind of, oh, I want to see my TTMs. But we got North Texas, Pete and DC, Dallas, Texas 750, 3 November 2025, PM 7L, 1775 to 2025. If you know what that stamp is, that's the person who gave me that one. I think that was a gifted stamp. I'm not sure if that was one that I bought at the post office or somebody gifted me that one. I'm going to be probably sneezing maybe because I've been working outside cutting grass and doing all kinds of other little bits of tidy up there. So anyway, I got 3 of 3. Again, I don't know the player run of this particular person, but I have most, if not all, of his basic cards there. I'm sure there's a few, 2000s plus cards, but he hasn't had a card in a while. And this would be golfer Ben Crenshaw. So Ben Crenshaw. Signed in 81 Donruss, I believe that's what that was, and the 82 Donruss is the expensive set, or was the expensive set. I haven't looked at the prices of these. He's got kind of a, look like maybe a shortened signature now, I don't really know, but happy to have that one there. And then I have 2 90s era cards. Most people get the 1991 Pro set signed, and they don't think anything else of it. And this guy could have 15 or 20 cards. Again, I don't really remember how many cards that would consider a player run. But I do have the 1991, I think it is, 91 or 92 Fax Packs card. It's not a very expensive set. I think the box has Bernhard Longer on it, so I thought about maybe sending the box one time, or just cutting out him off the box. I don't know what I have done, but there's Ben Crenshaw there, so people forget about that one. It's a very affordable set, so don't overpay on that one. And then he had a base card in the 1992 set. A lot of people skip the 1992 set because there's a lot more to build, but it's probably the better of the two, because when these golfers pass on, there are certain cards like the Fax Packs, the Donruss cards, you're going to be paying a lot of money for those, and so get the cards when they're still the same price as the other ones. And this is the Stat Leaders card of Ben Crenshaw here. It says Stat Leaders there, and a black signature on his blue shirt there, polo shirt there. So very cool to have pretty much finished up Ben Crenshaw, and I think I mentioned that in my letter. It's been a little while since that's been gone. So that's the only piece of mail. I donated a relatively large box to what I consider a large box. I went through and pulled out about 50 to 60 items. You think, well, that's a lot of stuff. But when you think about, I'm counting like 2 or 3 baseball cards as one, and a couple of, VCR tapes, some action figures, a few other miscellaneous things, some broken watches and sort of stuff. I would say broken watches, but they could use a band and a battery and somebody be all set to go. So there is my list of things. On this super ancient examination blank sheet paper there, from the 20s or 30s, 40s. 2 maps, 2 magazines, watch, old button, meaning like a campaign or political button, but it was like, some Kansas Fair or something. Costume ring, 1 book, 2 posters, 2 small American flags. They were vintage, but they just needed to go, And then the maps were actually those contoured plastic ones, but one of the maps actually I threw away instead of donating it. It had a hole poked in it, and I just folded it in half and it splintered everywhere. I also had to throw away a piece of broken glass. I found a broken picture frame that had a vinyl record cover in it, so it's no biggie. I kept the frame and the record, so there's no record in the cover because it came that way, but I just wanted to frame it just to, just stuff. Some slides, and again, some more baseball cards and some, vintage sign. Again, this store will probably throw away half of it and stuff of that I would be able to sell, but maybe they might not be able to sell. It's not Goodwill or anything, but I bought 2 CDs from them because even when I donate, that's a nice thing to do, is give them the stuff, but I know they have to sort it and filter through it and pull out the stuff that's junk. And got rid of one of my old jackets that had it was okay. Somebody else would really like that jacket because from a distance it was a good jacket, but up close it's all kind of ick. but it's not dirty or gross. So I got 2 CDs, and the first one I found had the most damaged jewel case on it. So that's all broken, and it's got all the old tape, you know, the security tape still on there. But this is 2 cellos because several people have mentioned them to me. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to give them a shot. I haven't listened to it. 2 cello score, London Symphony Orchestra, so we'll see about the 2 cellos there. Don't really know. But if I don't keep it, I will replace a jewel case and probably be able to sell that one. Loved a Taylor Swift CD the last time. It turns out I could have easily got $5 or $10 out of it. Then I got a Clubber's Guide to Trance, Volume 1, and I have never heard of any of these people. If it was a Clubber's Guide to Trance, then you would have essentially all the main guys, and so these are all copyright-free people, and maybe it just made up people, I don't know. Progression is the intro. Then you've got Nature Cries with C-R-Y-E-S, Mizar versus Frost. I might have heard of Frost, but Airfire, Traveler Bliss, Sean Dexter versus Della Ray, French Kiss, DJ Dandu, and Alan McLeod, Relieve My Pain by DJ Arnie, L2 Remix, Metropolis, K-Brand Metropolis, and DJ Elb. I don't know, No Signs of Life, the anthem, Airfire versus, I might be able, I've only listened to like the first 3 tracks on here. Transport to Heaven, Winter Haven Project. This is from 2001, and I've heard of none of them. That is right in the wheelhouse. There are people I probably should have, but, you know, a lot of the DJs I listen to have been, you know, going on for like 5, 10, 15, 25 years or more. These people have just basically were a product of their time, and they have disappeared. But the reason why I grabbed this, because any of this type of music is rarer than jazz. You can't find jazz, and you can't find this stuff. So for $1, I'm already $2 to the good from Goodwill. So, you know, I'll get that, and then I'll say, get rid of it. You know, give it back to the store, give it to another store, sell it for $1, maybe if I'm lucky, and that is it. That's it for that particular project there. Again, I just wanted to get those out. Now, one of the last things I want to mention very quickly here is that I'm on my after-school special trip again, and I had my binder here a minute ago, but I think I may have been, I moved it to, oh, here it is. So at one time, and I don't know if I have this all correct here, but I have gotten down to, it says on my end of my sheet here, at the end of the page here, it told me I had 107. So I went down and broke down and bought one photograph. The glare on this thing is just absolutely dreadful. I've tried to fix it, you know, all morning. It didn't work. And so I think I have about 107, so I should have 106 photographs left to get. I went through and I just typed in after school, like all one word, and then specials. And I got a couple hundred results. Then I filtered out all the ones that were like CDs and sports clothing and trading cards. So there was even like 1,000+ results with the trading cards. So after school specials is some sort of basketball or football insert, I'm not really sure. And then it has nothing to do with the show. So then I get down to a certain number, 100 and some. Then I get down, I said, okay, these are the ones I already have. And it turns out there's about 2 different images per episode, approximately. Some of them have more, I think, but some of them are like one main image of that one cast member, and then one is like a smaller picture and another, so 2 photographs on one page. I think that's kind of how that's looking for some of them. So I'm not getting all of those, I just need to have one. And then some of them, there was 3 of the same episode, so I could discount those. And so now, just under After School Specials title, I have 15 different that I could theoretically get. Now, mind you, they're $25 to $30 each, plus shipping. So $25 to $35. Now, the one that I purchased, I was not even thinking about getting that one, but out of the blue, I got a message saying, would you like to have it for $13 and whatever. It was under $14. So $13.50 or something like that plus shipping. And I thought about it. I said, this is one of the most difficult titles to even talk about. You wouldn't even want to mention this. But it's on my list here from 1990. I get to the right page here. And it's from 1988-89, and I had none from season 17. I have none from season 18 and none from season 19. So the later seasons, and I was holding off on those because they were all over the place for around $10. But again, now they've like, 2.5 times in cost. When they were $10, $7 to $10, now they're, $20 to $25, $30. And then I have already marked off what the thing cost me here for that particular one. And then I don't know the last time I've done this, but I have basically used up all my leftover numbers so I can see 1, 2, and 3. And just trying to do things, kind of a way that they would have done back in the day. Do it all analog and not digital with all kinds of little this types of stuff in there and stuff to write notes on and things like that, and all kinds of vintage stickers that I've been finding. So that's pretty fun to get another one going on there. And again, I'm pretty sure that that's the only one. There's only maybe 2 others that would be a little less embarrassing or difficult to type in because you don't want to have all those in your Google results. So what I did to find this particular picture, I just typed in the actor of the show. There were 2 other pictures from that show, and they were, again, that $25 price range. I was like, no thanks, I can't have that. But many of these I've not been able to find. And again, when I search my after school special results here, if I type in ABC or what have you, after school special might not be the title, neither of them, not even ABC. It could be the title of the show, the actor, but some people put as little information as possible on the thing there, and I'm having a difficult time to find that. For me to research over 105 photographs time and again, trying to find that person, I have to do 2 or 3 searches for each one, got me only down to 15 to find. And 15 times 25 is a lot of money. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars just to get a fraction of what I have left. So, in recap here, there is 156 titles from what I can tell. So I'm down to 106 when I get this one in here. I'll show that, but not the title. And, I have a couple of extra ones and maybe some duplicates here. One of them kind of turned pink, unfortunately. I don't know why it did that. And then I have been coming across 0 of the what do you call it? For the price that I want. 0 of these. I'm almost done here. But this one's one of a kind. And that is the After School Specials. A brand new season of this award-winning series starts today, one of a kind. I have some TV guides of the right time frame and time period, but they're not listed in there for whatever reason. So I can't even tie those into my book here. But if I get another 100 books in here, or 100 pictures in here, then sadly I will have to basically get in another binder here. I wanted to keep it all in one. That's how fat my binder is, just for what I have, with also a few of the weekend specials in there. I guess I can show you a couple of those and we'll finish off here. Some of those were dual purpose to the after school specials, but when I get to some of those right here, I'll find it. One of my favorite ones here, and I don't know if I have 2 copies or 1 copy of it. And I got the kids to watching this, and they really liked it. I say the kids, but my nieces and nephews to watch this. There is Lori Handler at Camp Wackadoo, Little Lulu, and that was a pretty good one. It was the boys versus the girls. I thought that was pretty funny episode there, and I think I had several of them. Yeah, Lori Handler. I tried to get her autograph, but and I have 2 copies, I believe, of the Camp Wackadoo, because why not? And now people are asking $30 to $50 for that picture. How many copies are out there for sale? I could be dealing with like the Rick and the Mangini show, where I'm getting the only few copies out there that people have saved over the years. There's probably some locked away in archives, but the media outlets only got 1 or 2 copies to do as they please with, and they got rid of them or saved them, or they're in somebody's personal collection that's never going to go out to market, or you have to go to the dreaded Historic Images and pay a fortune to get them out of lock and key. So that's what's going on with me. I've got 1 picture coming in. I have virtually nothing else via eBay, so that is today's video. And I hope to get to a card show. I think December, there's a December card show. I haven't talked to my buddies quite yet. There's an opportunity to set up a table there, but I don't think I should do that because I know with the cards that I have, people are not going to be wanting to pay my ridiculously low prices. So that is all I have for today, and thank you for watching.